And these herbal drugs or the medicinal plants have been arranged according to its chemical classification. So alkaloidal drugs we are going to study, that is drugs containing alkaloids like Vincara, Wolfia, Belladonna, opium. And similarly, drugs containing flavonoids, drugs containing steroids, volatile oils, tannins, resins, glycosides. And with few examples, we are going to study the different categories of medicinal plants uh, that we are going to study in this particular chapter. Okay, let's move on. So before going into the pharmacognostical aspects, we should know about the basics of alkaloids. So let us see what are alkaloids. Okay, so the name alkaloids is because they are alkali-like. Since they are alkali-like substance, it is called as alkaloids. Alkaloids are nitrogenous basic organic compounds present in plants. It has heterocyclic ring with nitrogen as heteroatom, and small quantity of it produces marked physiological activities. Though it is have given us a definition, it covers almost all alkaloids, but there are few exceptions. That is, there are some alkaloids which doesn't have heterocyclic ring, and there are some exceptions. Exceptions are there. Okay, but it will be applicable to most of the alkaloids. And alkaloids can be further categorized into three. That is, it can be called as true alkaloid or proto-alkaloid or pseudo-alkaloid. True alkaloid, it contains heterocyclic nitrogen. Okay, heteroatom, it contains that will be nitrogen, and it is derived from amino acid, and it is present in plants as salts of organic acids. Examples are serpin, vinblastin, atropine, morphine, etc. Coming to proto or amino alkaloid, it does not contain heterocyclic nitrogen. That is, heteroatom nitrogen is not present, but it is derived from amino acid similar to true alkaloids, and they are simple amines, sometimes considered as biological amines. Example, ephedrine, colchicine, N,N-dimethyltryptamine. Then next is pseudoalkaloid. It contains heterocyclic nitrogen. It does not derive from amino acid. This is the difference of pseudoalkaloid from true and protoalkaloids. It includes mainly steroidal and terpenoidal alkaloids and purines. Example, caffeine, conacetin. Then physical properties of alkaloids. As I said, with few exceptions, alkaloids are colorless, crystalline solids with a sharp melting point. Some alkaloids are amorphous gums, while others like conin, nicotine are liquid and volatile in nature. Some are colored in nature. Example, bentonidine is red in color. Berberin is yellow in color. Free bases of alkaloids are soluble in organic solvents. Very important property of alkaloids. That is, free bases of it are soluble in organic solvents, and salts are almost soluble in water. So this is a very have it in mind, because based on this property we can able to isolate alkaloids by changing the solvent system. So free bases of alkaloids. When alkaloids are present as free bases, it will be soluble in organic solvents, and if it is in salt form, it will come in aqueous phase, that is water. Okay. The solubility of alkaloids and their salts are useful in pharmaceutical industry for the extraction and formulation of pharmaceutical preparations. The next is the chemical properties of alkaloids. Alkaloids are basic in reaction due to the availability of lone pair of electrons in the nitrogen. Alkaloids exhibiting basic character are very much sensitive to decomposition and cause problems during their storage. It may contain one or more nitrogen and exist as primary, secondary, tertiary, or quaternary ammonium compounds. In the natural form, alkaloids exist in free state as amine or salt with acid or alkaloid N oxides. It may present in any one of these forms. And when coming to the chemical test of alkaloids, there are some general tests for alkaloids which is applicable to all alkaloids. there are four general tests. Number one is Mayer's test. So when we add Mayer's reagent to our sample, Mayer's reagent is nothing but potassium mercury chloride. It gives cream colored precipitate. The second test is drag and drop test. So drag and drop reagent plus sample, that is drag and drop reagent is nothing but potassium bismuth iodide. It gives red brown colored precipitate. The next is Wagner's test. So sample plus Wagner reagent, that is iodine potassium iodide solution. It gives reddish brown colored precipitate. Then Hager's test, sample plus Hager's reagent, that is picric acid solution, gives yellow colored precipitate. Stas auto process. Alkaloid extraction is based on its basicity and solubility. This I have explained when we are talking about the properties of alkaloids. Extraction is basically carried out by Stas auto process, in which the moistened drug is treated with alkali to set free the base existing in salt form, and then free base is separated with an organic solvent. Okay, so when we make an alkaloid as a free base, it will come into organic solvent. But when we make it as a salt form, it will come into the aqueous phase. So powdered drug material is taken and it is defatted with non-polar solvents. So and then this defatted plant material should be moistened with water and then treated with ammonia dilute lime solution. Then it has to be extracted with organic solvents like chloroform, ether. So when we basify it, it will become a free base. Then the extract has to be concentrated. Then it should be dissolved in dilute acid. Now this free alkaloid will be converted into salt form. Once it is converted to salt form, it will go into aqueous phase. Then once again we are basifying with ammonia or sodium bicarbonate. So in free bases it will go into organic phase. Then we have to evaporate to dryness. Then we can take the total crude alkaloid. This is the first process. Then in Mansky's process, powdered drug material is defatted with nonpolar solvent and defatted crude material is extracted with methanol. Then methanol extract has to be concentrated, dissolved in water and acidify it up to pH 2. So now it forms alkaloidal salt. Steam distillate to remove traces of methanol. We have to remove the methanol. Then keep it for several days in the refrigerator. Boil with paraffin, filtrate is obtained. Then shake with organic solvent like chloroform or ether. And now the alkaloid salt will enter into the aqueous phase. Then this will be once again basified and we have to extract it with organic phase, and finally we need to evaporate to dryness and we will get crude alkaloids. Then isolation or purification of alkaloids can be done with several techniques. Let us see one by one. Direct crystallization from solvent. This method of isolation is not used for complex mixtures. Okay, when so many number of drugs are there, alkaloids are there, it's not applicable. Then next one is steam distillation. This method is used for volatile liquid alkaloids like choline, spartin and nicotine. However, high molecular weight alkaloids cannot be isolated by this technique. Then chromatographic techniques. This method is ideal for separating majority of plant alkaloids. The different chromatographic techniques such as TLC, HPTLC, column, gas, liquid and ion exchange chromatography, etc. are used for separating individual alkaloids from compound. So gradient pH technique. Here we are taking the powdered drug, defatted with petroleum ether, moistened with alkali. We are making it as a free base. Then we are extracting with the organic solvent. Then we'll get the total extract. Concentrate the total extract. Then add hydrochloric or sulfuric acid. Then it forms an aqueous solution we will get, which contains alkaloidal salts. Then make alkaline, extract with immiscible solvent, that is immiscible, that is organic solvents. Then we will get residual aqueous fraction. In this residual organic fraction contain other pigments, so separate the undesired constituents collect organic solution, that is alkaloidal bases, remove solvent by evaporation. Crude alkaloidal mixtures will be further purified by chromatography, then characterized with the help of various spectroscopic techniques. So chemical classification, true alkaloids, based on its chemical structure, we can categorize them like pyridine and piperidine. Example, nicotine, anabasine, lobolin, and this is the basic structure of pyridine and piperidine. Okay, then tropane alkaloid. Examples of tropine, hyoscyamin, hyoscine, cocaine. Then quinoline. This is the basic structure of quinoline. Examples are quinine, quinidine, chinconin. Then isoquinoline. This is the basic structure. Examples of morphine, codeine, narcotin, emitin. Then indole. This is the basic nucleus of indole. Examples of ergometrin, reserpin, vinblastine, vincrustin. Then imidazole. This is the basic structure of imidazole. Pilocarpine and isopilocarpine are the examples. Then protoalkaloids, that type is alkylamine. This is the basic structure. Example, ephedrine. Okay. Then finally pseudoalkaloids, purine, and this is the structure of purine. Examples are caffeine, theophylline, and theobromine. Steroidal, this is the CPP nucleus. Examples of solanidin, conicin are few examples. And diterpene, examples aconitin, aconin, and hyoconin. Then if you see about the functions of alkaloid, their bitterness and toxic nature provide protection against herbivorous. They are the waste products of detoxification. Being the major source of nitrogen, they can cure nitrogen deficiency. They also aid in regulating growth in some metabolic systems. Those containing a sugar moiety may be utilized as a source of energy in deficiency of carbon dioxide assimilation. Thank you. Thank you, everyone.